Hey guys, welcome back. Tonight, Braxton and I are going to put a Kickstart kit in his 200 race edition. This is a 2026. We are trying a different video because we're going to try to do this without cutting the film, see how fast I can do it. So right away, this is the Kickstart kit, AB-21194, right from Beta. Everything in the kit is laid out on this brag here. And then I have an assortment of tools. This is just what I think I'm going to need to do the job. You don't need anything special at home. I'm not going to say what they all are, but you don't need anything special. So first thing I'm going to do, got my spring remover. I'm going to come over here, pop these. The first thing I'm going to do is get my skid plate off. And to get this skid plate off, I find it easier to get the pipe out of the way, because that front skid plate bolt is not much fun to deal with. So the first thing, the pipe is coming, pipe and silencer, coming off this sucker. Oh, maybe I should have loosened the back half first, because now. So Braxton has like 4 hours on this thing, and it's all starting to work its way in. And with me not cutting this, you're gonna see like the actual real raw mechanical stuff that, you know, I would have cut this 4 seconds ago and you'd been like, oh, that came apart easy. Okay, silencer's off. Coming back over here, gonna pull the pipe out of the way. This just pulls down and out, don't lose your clip. I like to just put these back in because I don't want to lose them, even though we're wasting precious seconds right now. So just kind of stick them back in there. Now, I did all that quickly because I wanted the skid plate out of the way. Oh, this goes between the pipe. It's a cool little crush washer they're adding now. So just so you guys know, I don't know if it's like a dampener. You're gonna probably see a bunch of sand. We were just down in Florida. Yeah, look at that. Even after washing, look at that. All that sand in there. So skid plate's 2 bolts can hide out of the way over there. I've got a somewhat dirty rag just for this job right now. I don't want any sand to fall down on the clutch components, because I'm gonna leave the oil change, but actually the rest of it's pretty darn clean. Got the oil drain pan there. This is a 13 mil. We always use a 6-point socket because we don't want to hurt anything. And so let's screw this. I don't have any gloves here at the house, so if you're wondering why. So that oil has about 5 hours on it, and dude, this oil is such good stuff. Look at that. Look how clean that still is. Pretty incredible. So now that that's draining, I'm going to jump right in here, and we're going to remove his rear brake pedal. I can feel the sand in there because this is on the way up here. So I'm going to scratch his red anodized. I'm trying not to scratch it. That's why we're taking some extra time here. Sorry, Braxton, if I scratch it. And this is that, I don't know what they want to call it, like FAS, F-A-A-S. It's that rear brake clevis that tightens all this up, so there's a lot less play. But man, is it a bear to get out sometimes. Okay, so she's in there. We're going to jump to our T45 with a 14 millimeter on the back side. I'm going to crack it kind of loose before I jump into it. I don't usually have to worry about that spring too much, like the brake spring right there, because if I take these pliers now that the brake pedal's loose, you're not twisting this quite as far. And then it slides out the front. With all that out of the way, I'm gonna let that drain a little bit more. We're gonna get the coolant out of here. So, got my bin. I like to use a T-handle or something that's got an extension to it to keep my hand away from the coolant. And it's okay if some of this lands in that bin. We're not saving that oil down there. Now, I went right to this. I didn't crack the coolant cap yet. Don't lose your copper washer there. So now if I I'm gonna pop the cap up here. You'll see like the rush. I can't because the dirt bike strap that's holding that bike to the stand. Okay. This is where we would cut film, da-da-da. But we're not tonight. So as soon as this is done, I'm gonna grab a Phillips head screwdriver. We're gonna pop this coolant out, arm out of the way, and then I can get this power valve cover gone. Oh, and quick little cheat is I already popped the center. There's like a, I don't know what you call it, like tamper-proof center, so you have to have like a special tool. If you take a punch and you punch just the center, like one way or the other a couple times, you can knock those pins out, and that's what we did with this one. Because truth be told, we already tried to do the Kickstart kit once, but I ordered the wrong one. I had a 250-300 kit. So that's about all the coolant I'm gonna save, and that's fine. Come right back over with our Phillips screwdriver. I'm surprised I don't feel more sand in that clamp because it feels really good. Thankfully. Oh, you'll notice that this bike's got a CMCO hose kit, but it does not have the CMCO lower hose because I didn't like the CMCO lower hose. I had too much of an elbow right there. So I left the stock one on there. And I think that, I'm gonna take that out of the way, but we're just gonna let him chill down there. It's gonna let me get to this 3. Again, I kind of cheated and knocked the tamper-proof out of the middle. How are your arms doing, Brax? Doing good. And then back to the T-handle here. Braxton's got the gimbal with the camera. These ones are like not a true 8mm bolt, so I like to be really careful with these because you're going into your cylinder head, or your cylinder. Okay, so you gotta be careful not to try to get the green gasket to come with it because you can't pull the gasket out yet. It's still stuck behind the power valve arm. Ugh. So now this is pretty simple. All we gotta do is figure out what side. It's this side right here. Sorry if the lighting sucks in here, you guys. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be a good mechanic. I wanna be a mechanic, and I'm gonna stick that like that. That way, this little, actually it doesn't matter because we were gonna take this thing all the way apart. So normally, you know, if this would have fallen down in that hole, it ends up down here in your clutch, but that's okay because we're taking it all apart anyway. And then now I use a nice screwdriver, pop the ball socket off of there, and then I'll kind of pull out a little bit on this rubber gasket, and it relieves the pressure. Like when you pull out on this, it pulls the pressure away from this one. So that's my story. Okay, now we are free and clear to do the outer clutch cover. And so we're gonna, and some of these bolts are different lengths. Oh man, there's no telling. What I'm gonna do is I got my nice little absorbent rag down here now. Put some of this down here. This is probably gonna be the messiest part, obviously. Sometimes these come off nice, sometimes they don't. So, because you do have 2 centering pins that hold this clutch cover in place, and sometimes they start to develop a, well, this bike's pretty much new, but otherwise they could get like seated together. And I cheated, one more cheat that I didn't tell you guys about. Let me grab a paper towel first, actually. I'm gonna paper towel this inside of this cover to get as much oil out of there as I can. So this is my cheat right here, is I have a bungee cord already ready to go to hold his outer clutch cover up. You cannot touch your clutch now. If you touch your clutch, it's gonna push the slave cylinder piston out. You gotta rebleed that whole thing. So if you're doing this in a workshop with a bunch of friends around, don't let them do that. All right, so this is where I need my magnet. Oh, come on, there we go. So your throwout bearing is now out of the way. And then now I need a pick tool. So I gotta get the rest of this out. Do not forget to put this back in too. I've done that in the past. Or you forget to put this throwout bearing back in, put the whole thing in, and what I just explained about the slave cylinder pushing out, it did. So this has to go back in there. Now this is gonna be where you make a little bit of noise. This is where the 27 comes into play. Cool thing is your clutch pack, maybe I'm jumping ahead, but I can still pull the clutch out. Kind of forget sometimes. Oh, I didn't get the Loctite out yet. That's gonna I'm gonna have to get that out. Okay, so I'm just making a pile down here. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but let's keep track. Now, there is gonna be a bearing. I don't wanna go away from the oil pan here, Brax, but there's a bearing, and then, I don't know what you call it, a sleeve on the back side, and then that's our spacer. So it all is just gonna rest right there. And I kind of jumped the gun. Look how much extra oil is still sitting in there. I wish I had a way to quickly dissolve that, but I don't. Because usually I rock the bike, but I've got it strapped down to the bike stand tonight, so I'm not gonna rock the bike around. We're still losing a little bit of coolant out of here, which is fine. Okay, so that's probably enough worrying about that. We're just gonna make a mess, and that's okay. So now, outer clutch cover. So right away, I don't use this tool putting stuff back together, but I do use it taking it apart. Oh, are you kidding me? Get out of there. Man, I am dropping those in there like crazy. That pan is supposed to be a little bit more, that one I can't get on straight. And I think it's that one. Sorry, I just hit the camera. I think that's it over there. Okay, so I need to grab the T-handle, get this last one out because I didn't want to have a bad angle on the bolt. So now, I think we're free and clear, Brax, to pull this out. As long as I didn't forget a bolt somewhere. I did, forgot that one right there. Wow, who knew? This one over here is just your check level bolt, so that's it. Okay, so, oh yeah, that. If it doesn't come out like that, you guys, like immediately, you like just quit pulling on it. Okay, so that's what I was hoping for, is our gasket is perfect. I'm not gonna relace the new gasket on here, we're just gonna use that one because I can. So, I keep wiping my hands off, so let's see. This is easy. We are now, that's fully torn apart. A little bit of, I don't want to call it dirt, but something in there. One more paper towel just to kind of wipe. I love that oil, dude. That oil works so good. You got the first 4 hours on there, and there's no contamination in there, so it's perfect. Because usually during the first 4 hours, you do have some. I forgot to get the Loctite, so I just ran over to the drawer and grabbed that. So, I'm trying to show you guys what I'm doing. So what I'm gonna do, first of all, this is the first part to go in. This is that little dog leg thing. And you can see there's already a nub in there. So that's why there's only one bolt. And I'll use the T-handle to kind of keep myself away from the camera. I'm not trying to race. I'm not trying to because obviously I'm stopping to explain a couple things. It's got Loctite in there, and these are just 8mm bolts. You guys do not have to crush these, so. I have a good feeling about that one, or at least I do until Braxton comes around in the next race. He's like, yo, something's bound up in there. So now I am unpacking the gear, and if you look, it's hard to tell, but there's a dot on the end of this shaft, and there's a dot there. They got to stay lined up. I don't know, their Beta's got all these weird gears and stuff to make that work. Basically, this little dog leg has to catch under what we just installed, and our spring has to stay in the shaft as well. So we kind of have to set it in there, and I'm going to turn it. And I know that I slid underneath that, and our spring is still where it needs to be, and now all I have to do is wrap this guy around. And I like to take my side cutters, grab it, and push it down in there. Oh, that oil will come out of there. Okay, so there's your kick arm. That's in its place. Now, we're going to take, what do you call it, idler gear. Use a little bit of oil. Put it on there. Now, some of these in the 250 and 300 kit, or if it's a 4-stroke kit, you may have had 2 washers. One that might have gone on the inside, and then one that went on the back side. I'm going to pull it off one more time so you can see the orientation. See how there's a shelf on the back side of that gear, that goes in, just so you guys know. Washer is in, and then now I can snap ring this guy in right here. Oh, I messed up. So my snap ring pliers are old here at the house. Like, dude, they're both bending the same way. Like, not very good odds. My tool selection is minimal here, but that's us doing it. Like, you're at home, you're like, man, can I do that job or not? Yeah, you can do it. And I even have some Alaskan Malamute dog hair in there. Okay, so that's everything. I can put the clutch back on. That's literally everything on the back side, Nero. Oh, real quick, make sure that all of your shifter stuff is okay. So in the past, I've seen where the shift drum, like there's like a spring back in here, it pops out on customers, not me, but in general. So make sure that doesn't happen to you. And so we've got, I'm just pulling stuff apart so you guys can see it. Make sure you got all your stuff on here. And this gear right here has to line up with this one. So I'm gonna, oh, don't pull out, there we go. So I got a couple things I'm trying to do here, so I'll pause to show. This spline has to line up with this spline, the center one. So that's the first one I have to line up, and I'm trying to hold it still with my finger without making you guys think I'm mad at you. Come on. Okay, there we go. So it's found its groove, and now, if you kind of look over here, Brax, I'm going to wiggle this gear, and it just kind of let it slide back on. We're going to go back on with this guy. I'm going to clean my hands off with my dirty rag. And this is where we're going to put some Loctite. We're going to put the, I don't know, it's like a newer style crush washer. Won't let it move. This one looks like it's got some orange Loctite in there. Don't know where they came up with that, but we're going to add some blue. And this is supposed to be torqued to a super high number. It's like 127 Newton meters. With all of my work on Braxton's 125 clutches and his cousin's clutches, I've never actually torqued their bikes. I've always just kind of rattle gunned it in. And so far, they've had some pretty good luck. So I started that by hand. I always start stuff by hand. That way you know you're not. I'm waiting for it to catch. Okay, that's as tight as I'm gonna go. If at home you wanna like hold that still and torque it, you are more than welcome to. I'm comfortable with it. And remember, this is that middle piece that has to go back in so we don't hurt our slave cylinder. And now we need our awesome snap ring pliers again. Come down here, Brax. We're gonna show this right here. My snap ring pliers, because we gotta have room. Gosh, these snap ring pliers are gonna, okay. Snap ring is out. This is where your kickstart arm is coming through. And I'm going to push with both hands. Oh, actually it came out pretty easy. There's your plug. Now the hardest part probably for my little hands is going to be to get this seal back in here. Sometimes they're a bear, sometimes they go right in. And this one is kind of going in pretty easy. So just two nice thumbs, just kind of working the way around it. And you can push it in all the way because there's a shelf in there. It's just going to land against it. Okay, so let me just pause. Everything on the inside is good. We're not going to replace the gasket because I'm happy with this one. I'm going to clean off some of Braxton's sand. Actually, I should set this down because there is, if you zoom in right here, there's some, look at that sand that was underneath of there. That would not have been helpful, I guess. I tried to tell Braxton, you're allowed to ride in the sand, but don't get it on the bike. He didn't listen. So, okay. Looks like there's a little bit more down here. And I had just had this all apart, so you can see all my grease is still all in here. All the grease is good. And we're gonna clean right here a little bit too. So this is where you at home might have a little bit more time because your gasket's probably older than this one, and this one's only, I mean, we just got the bike a couple weeks ago. So you might be scraping gasket material off, but we're not because it's all still one nice big gasket. So this, I'm going to tell you a little trick here. So we have, this is your water pump gear right here. And he's got to line up with this guy. I didn't rotate this at all, and I don't think we rotated that at all. So in theory, it should slide back in. If not, I'm going to come in from the top. I'm showing you now because once we get closer to the bike, you can't see it. I'm going to like spin this gear a little bit and push so it'll line up. This gear's got to line up with that gear. So I hope that makes sense. And we have our dowel pins, one's here, one's here. They're going to line up in their spots. Everything is happy and healthy. It looks really dirty in your power valve arm, Brax. So I'm just kind of letting stuff line up. And this is where sometimes you're going to cut film and you're going to play with this because you're going to be mad at it. But we're not going to do it today. So, ooh, I spun it a lot just now. Okay, ooh, let's see. My pick tool won't come back out. Okay, sweet. And then why does this not feel super happy? There it is, okay. Okay, so our outer clutch cover, no, that's inner clutch cover. Happy, healthy. I can see the gasket. You want to see a little bit of orange gasket all the way around on the outside because that means it didn't like fall out of place. Like right there, it looks kind of crappy on film, but I can see it down there. But like right there is a good example. We're looking for that gasket. And this is going to be me trying to remember. Longer. Let's show this Braxton because there's a couple different lengths here. The rest of these bolts, like 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, there's 3 longer ones, 2 shorter ones. I feel like a shorter one went, nope, that's a longer one. That's a shorter one there. So how I determine that is like, I sunk this shorter one right here in there. Look how far that went in. You have hardly any thread left. So if I pull it back out and put it here, it's happy. That one's happy. Let's try a short one again right there. That's happy. And then these 2 longer ones are gonna go here and here. And I'm going to use this here again because that worked out good. Not going to go too crazy tight with that one. Now, I'm using this, but we're not going to sink them in with this. So at home, don't worry. We're just going to get it close. Because it saves us precious time. There should be maybe one more chilling around here somewhere. No, okay. So let's finish those up with a nice T-handle. Do it by hand so you know exactly what it's supposed to be. And we're gonna pause here in a second after this. Actually, I can put our longer one back in that has we're done draining coolant, so that guy can go back in. What we're going to do is we're going to check the motion of our Kickstart kit too real quick, make sure we're happy with it. We are over halfway done. So there's that one done. This one sometimes, like not this bike, but you'll think you'll have that tight and you don't, like I always like to do baby steps, but man, sometimes you'll still see coolant dripping and it bothers you. So we are going to take the Kickstart lever. Oh, I can't turn that. I think it's sticky. I'm going to call for some lubrication. Okay, let's see. Braxton's on the starting line. His electric start failed. And because he smashed his starter button off on a log somewhere. Okay, it's working. It turns over, snaps back up. That means our return spring is working. Nothing binding in there, so we're not ready to put that back on yet. Let's do the power valve arm up here. Look at that extra coolant coming out. Okay, so this is where you do want to put something. No, first we got to clean our gasket. Slide this in there. This can be tricky because you think it's right one way, but it's not. Look at that. What the heck? It's like a old gasket maker or something. Silicone. Okay. So that's laid in there. Now I'm going to lay that around there because now that we're putting it back on, we're not going to be interested in digging this little clip out of the clutch. I've done it. It's not fun. Okay. So that goes up through the back side, clips on. Everybody's happy, healthy. And I always pull out on this again when I'm adjusting this, because as soon as you let go, see how it's got pressure on it? It's kind of cool. So that's going to hold it still. Now, some of you at home might be packing this full of silicone, and that's okay, you can, because as more gunk builds up in here, you're going to be like noticing stuff pile up around the bottom of your cylinder. It's okay, it's just 2-stroke. Those are all just kind of sitting there. At this point, I probably should just get rid of this like weird one here, but I can actually get to this one after, even with the 200 pipe on the bike. We're not going to go too tight yet. Dun, dun, dun. Again, these don't have to be mega tight. It's a simple little power valve cover, and the bolts are not super, I don't know, not super strong, thick, whatever. So, I mean, you wanna like have them be tight, but like that felt good. That felt good. And then we're gonna make sure this little guy feels good right here. Okay, happy with all that. Everything is tight so far. We can take this. I always slide the hose clamp on first. Bend the hose around. Oh, okay, there we go. And I like to have the hose clamp in that angle right there. That's my favorite spot for that. And Phillips screwdriver is gonna kind of help us out. Again, there's no sand in there. That's going together so nice. I like to have it here because your pipe's up here, and then that way you can get to this if you need to. So I'm not going to kill it, but that's plenty tight, 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 tight. Okay, I have no spare parts, which is incredible. So let's, one more paper towel. We're going to clean up the bottom of this thing right here, Brax. Just so you guys know, on these 125s and 200s, you have to bleed your coolant. There's a bleed screw in the top of the cylinder head here. Again, you got 2 dowel pins, and oh, you know what? Let me tell you something. You always want to put the spring on first, because it's not fun. This is one of the things I wish Beta could have done differently. So, do you see how I just hooked that spring on there, Braxton? I just saved you guys at home, like, 3 hours of your life. Okay, so, okay, that's, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's super flat like I want it to be, but it's just Braxton's bike. So, okay, now it's flat, okay. Long. Not long, long, and then the 2 short ones. The 2 short ones on this one are not equal, of course not. Okay, I like that. Have this one go in a little bit. This one can go in a little bit here. So now your friend in the garage can squeeze your clutch all he wants, because we put all the pieces back in there. The throwout bearing is back in. He can't hurt anything. That one's nice and tight. That one's nice and tight. Okay, so all of those are tight. I like it. I'm not going to put the Kickstart arm on until we got the pipe back on, because that's going to help teach us how to put it on. And so now we can do our brake lever. Reverse order here, slide the brake lever in. And I still like to have my pliers down here. I grab a hold of that spring. What's the video runtime at, Braxton?
30 minutes.
30 minutes? People actually gonna watch all this? Okay, we got our brake arm going back on. This is all good stuff though. This is all good stuff. Actually, I'm pretty pumped. Does that include the intro too? We never cut it at all, do we? Oh, that's right. Dude, we're knocking this out of the park. Plus I'm like talking. We know that adds time. Okay, so we're gonna put our nice little clevis arm back through, and we're gonna reuse the cotter pin. We're gonna live on the edge of life. Go through there, wrap him around. If I can get him to go past this darn, there we go. Do you feel risky, Braxton? Ow, holy smokes. You're using this? I just got stabbed by something. That's horrible. Okay. I'm confident that, you know, if you don't have rear brakes in the race, you're only going to go faster. So, all right. Now I can put your drain bolt back in, and that is 15 Newton meters, folks, at home. Okay, good. It does say Newton meters. I don't have to convert this. There's 15. The big question is, where did I put your drain bolt? Because we took it out a while. Oh, it's over here in this corner, sitting in like. Oh, look at all the stuff on your drain bolt. So just so you guys know, this is the first oil change. There is some stuff in there. That's okay. So like you're gonna see that in the first couple oil changes. We're gonna have some stuff. I would say one of the requirements for doing any job, at least for me, is having at least one roll of paper towels. I'm like a big paper towel guy. What is going on, Jason? Is there even a hole there anymore? Okay, there it is. That could have been your last oil change ever. This drain bin is now gonna... The problem is Braxton's starter wire is literally like laying like a third of the way over this hole. That's why it's such an annoying little... That start wire is like centered right on the drain plug. Okay, so we're being official here with a nice little... Okay, if that falls out, Braxton, it's not my fault. Okay, so, and I'm pretty big at this point. I'm like cleaning all the oil off the bottom of the motor because I do not want to come out in the garage and have like a drop of oil later somewhere, because then I start panicking and wondering like, where did it come from? And sometimes I'll use starting fluid to really get like all of the debris off. So a trick to getting these little boogers off, because they're stubborn whenever they're anodized, as I described with a set of side cutters with a paper towel in there. We had exactly 500 cc's measured out because, does this bike take 500? No, this bike takes like, don't listen to my measurements. I'm gonna have to like actually read. I think it's 690. You wanna know why we had 500? Because your 85 takes 500. So we're gonna have to put another, we'll say 200 cc's in here. I think it takes 690 total. Oh, Nikes. No. I already took the pan away. This is us trying to do it all fast on film. Wow, what a mess. No one's ever gonna buy a bike from us again. They're gonna be like, who is this guy? So I'm not prepared to put the full amount of oil on this bike, so it's gonna kill our time. So I'm not gonna film that part. I'm gonna we'll put the rest of the oil in once we cut the film. So we're gonna add an extra glug for the glug that we lost there. I'm gonna put this back on for now because you guys get the idea of what we're doing. We're making a complete mess. And so now I'm gonna stick the pipe back on this bike. We can do pipe, and then we can do the kickstart arm. Okay, so first thing with a pipe is gonna be grabbing it off the counter. At this point, some of you guys, I would have, like if I were you at home, I would buy new pipe O-rings, but because this bike is literally brand new, we don't have to do that. So why don't you switch sides with me? Let me go over here. And this isn't gonna line up because I loosened that one up. Probably isn't gonna fit because Braxxton already dented it. So don't forget my cool little crush washer here. He fits in there. And then that. So why don't you back up just real quick, Brax? I'm not gonna go too tight because it started and that's all we need. Let me move to the middle here. I don't start any of these tight until you have like the silencer on too, because then like everything can kind of move around a little bit and be happy. And I'm gonna grab some grease. Oh, by the way, we've got these cool new cabinets back here. I had the guys over Saturday night watching Supercross and they helped me build it. So you'll see a build video on our cabinets. Pan out, Brax, show them our cabinets. Get them excited for the video release of our cabinet system. So pretty pumped on those. Hopefully up in our game here on our content. So I just greased that. I don't know if you guys paid attention or saw that, because it makes this whole process go a little bit better. And now I gotta hold it still. And this is where you probably could have tightened the front down better, and then it would have. Oh, there it goes. Okay, look at that. So these are always interesting. This is the aluminum subframe upgrade too, you guys, so it's kind of cool. And we got an FMF shorty on here. This thing sounds good. I love the way this 200 sounds. We got that factory suspension KYB rear shock on there. Right out of the factory Supercross team, so thanks to those guys. You guys are really watching me do all this right now. I feel bad. So we're getting close. We're getting so close. Maybe I won't make you guys watch me install coolant or the skid plate, because I think you guys can handle that. If you guys just watched the rest of the video, I'm pretty sure those two things aren't going to bother you too bad. Why is it not tightening, Braxton? Huh. Okay, so there we go. Okay, tight, tight, tight. I think the last thing I really wanted to show you guys on film was installing the Kickstart lever itself. So if I can find it, here it is right here. And Braxton's here is extremely sticky. I probably should have it's crazy how sticky it is. It does not want to suffice it. Okay. Oh, that's nowhere near it. You could put this thing anywhere you want. Actually, that's one spot it could be, but it's going to hit there. If we come back one, I think that's super solid right there. So if you guys are home wondering, that's where we're going to put that. And hopefully it's a T45 because we already have that out, which it is. Just got to find the extension. Okay, so we have our T45. It's already pre-Loctited for us. And oh, did I show you guys this little centering washer? This is what holds it from falling off. Okay, so and the torque on this is just whatever your heart feels like it should be. Like right there. Plenty tight. So all right, Brax, why don't you pan out a little bit. So after all of this, I've wasted 7 paper towels. This is what you should be left with. This is what we pulled out. You don't have to show it too much. This is what we pulled out when we did that. I have to put a skid plate back on. I got to finish filling it with oil, and we have to put the coolant in. Don't forget you got to bleed the coolant on top of the cylinder head. So we're going to fill it, and then I'm going to crack that and watch all the air come out. Once it's pure coolant, then I can put the 8mm back down in. So that was a Kickstart kit installed. What are we, about 30 some minutes, Brax?
40.
It's pretty sick though. We just did that live, took some time. Thanks for watching. If you found the video helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel. I would appreciate it. Also, if you guys are buying your beta parts on the beta website, if you don't mind choosing 3C's Recreation, it really helps us out. At the end of the month, we get a commission on those orders. So please choose 3C's. Enjoy the ride. We'll see you in the trail. Okay, so I filled it with coolant. We bled the coolant on that little bleeder screw. We fixed the oil. I put the pipe springs on the pipes. I forgot to do that. And then skid plates on. So let's give her this kick off. It's so stiff. Let's see her actually. Oh. All right, thanks for watching.